Good morning. It's 10:03 and we're 3 minutes late to the start. All right. Happy peak of the week. Very excited for you to all be in our brand new space. So I think where Maureen was sitting used to be the general store, cash register, and I think Teresa's probably getting her hair done. Because that's what the salon was. So that's what this space used to be. So very excited for us all to be here today. How many of you, is this your first meeting, first all-staff meeting? Armonte, Serena, Gina, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, well we have a pretty packed agenda, so we're going to get through this. I'm trying to keep it to that 30-minute window. We might go a little over, but we're going to do our best. As always, if you have questions, shout them out. I want to start with extraordinary impressions. We maintain high levels of professionalism both in conduct and appearance at all times. I am missing part of my uniform. Hand up. Hold me accountable, right? Don't have my name tag. So that is part of our appearance, but why do you think this is what we're highlighting this quarter? Any thoughts? State? Like that. I like that. State, top of mind.
We have a lot of news right
Nate.
now.
Tanya.
A bunch of new residents coming in so they can know where.
There we go. Bunch of new residents are coming in, and also we have this beautiful, beautiful new building that we are excited to be in. We're excited to complete, and I really think that we owe it not only to the residents, to ourselves, but to East Castle Place to make sure we keep this beautiful, beautiful structure as beautiful as the people are inside of it. So, if you see those pieces of paper on the floor, if you see those things that are missing or can be picked up, those details, please do it. Same thing when it comes to our own uniform, and Jen's going to talk a little bit about that, but it also comes in our attitude, right? The smiles, the good mornings, the East Castle way, and that's why we're so excited to welcome nearly 40 new residents here in September, starting in August, actually really beginning in July. But just want that to be in focus, want to hold each other accountable to that. Again, as we carry ourselves, we carry the brand of East Castle Place, and again, you all are looking fantastic in your uniforms. I apologize that I am not in full uniform without my name tag. So, go see Mia if you lose your name tag. Jen will also remind you of that. Questions? We all going to do that? Yep. Fantastic. It is, and the arrows. So this didn't happen last time. Come on. Oh, I'm rolling through screens here. I apologize, everyone. We will make up time, don't you worry. There we go. All right, this is our new beautiful space. We're in it right now. This is Lindsay Hall. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. This is our new Lake Terrace Lounge on the 4th floor of Water Tower. That's getting finished. That's going to be a resident space, a fireplace, and really nice seatings. Balconies are going on the Water Tower building that will be called Lake Terrace. Obviously, this is our beautiful new private dining room. And this is just one layout. So there's, I think, 8 to 10 different layouts in the new Lake Terrace building. Ranges square footage anywhere from like 650 up to nearly 2,000 square feet per apartment. So again, check those out. They're on the website. Check it out for real if you're in person. Review. We started this project back in February of 2022. We have done a lot. So obviously we started with the transition of our Water Tower living residence over into Water Tower. How many of you can even imagine being not in one building in Bradford Terrace right now, right? It's been kind of nice that we're all have healthcare in one building. So food and beverage are just going to one area, right? It's helping the consistency and the service of care that we're providing. We've also opened up a new restaurant, a new bar, the Commons North areas. Lindsay Hall's complete. Lake Terrace building, the old Water Tower building, is going to be complete. It'll be a final inspection July 21st. Our first residents are moving in August 14th. Incredible. There are a number of details, trust me, I know. We don't have a fireplace that's actually operational, nor do we have a front door. Nor is our front desk staff back at the front desk, which will happen July 26th. So there are details. There is a lot of focus right now on the Lake Terrace building to get that wrapped up. But again, those details will wrap up by September 1st. So again, after August 14th, there's 2 pieces that will get done. The Creativity Center and your employee center. So I know Jen's worked with a number of you from a community standpoint on what that employee center is going to look like. We are going to complete that. It will be probably not till, we're probably not going to start that project till beginning of September in reality. Some key dates, front desk, like I said, July 26th, resident grand opening, so that's just for the residents. August 24th, again, you all are welcome to that. And then what we have is called our grand opening, which is our community. So we're going to invite all of our partners, all of our community members, family members, etc., to our new beautiful East Castle Place building. Along with that, you're going to hear some new names. And so this is some terms that I want you to get comfortable with. We are rebranding the inside of East Castle Place. We will always be East Castle Place, but a few names for reference. The Contemporary building will no longer be called Contemporary because 2006 is not very contemporary anymore. It will be called the North Point Terrace after the North Point neighborhood. The Historic building will be now called Historic Terrace. The Water Tower building will be called Lake Terrace. And Bradford Terrace is going to remain our foundation and critical piece, and that will remain Bradford Terrace. So you're going to see some signage and some updates, and again, along with the Gilman, the 1884, all those pieces are part of the internal branding. Questions on that? Trust me, I know I'm going to say, hey, can you run over to Contemporary? Again, we're going to get through that. We'll start calling it the North Point Terrace, because the first time I say North Point Terrace, I'm going to, where is that, right? So we'll work through that together. Signage will help. That's scheduled for the end of July to be put up. Any questions on construction? All right, sales and occupancy, because what? Everybody sells, and we need to celebrate. We are absolutely crushing it this year, and I want to say thank you to everyone. When I say crushing that, that not only means just because we're fulfilled, we're excited, it's because of how many services and how much care we're providing to the outside community, as well as welcoming new residents in. So you see the numbers here. Assisted living, we are full. We're taking one of those apartments off as a guest suite again, so we're 17 out of 17 today, Amy.
Yes.
Memory support, I think we have a resident moving in soon.
Yes.
Perfect, so that will be 14 out of 16.
Yes.
Perfect. And then the health center, what did we read today? I told you I was going to call you, and here we are.
34.
34. Give yourselves a round of applause.
We have an amazing number 30 today.
35. Give yourselves a round of applause. That is absolutely phenomenal. The number of residents we've welcomed inside of East Castle Place and a number of residents that want to come to East Castle Place continues to grow. And yes, we're beautiful and that helps, but without you in here and what you provide on a day-to-day basis and what we provide from a care and service standpoint, we're not hitting these numbers. So again, this is the absolute best I've seen in my time here, and so again, that's a credit to you all. Yes, Amy and Joe are incredible at what they do, and yes, Heidi, Anna, Cooper, and Jennifer are incredible at what they do, leading that sales and closing those residents, but trust me, they're not able to do, and I'm not able to be here without what you do every single day. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Questions on that? Art show. So if you walk down Lindsay Hall, you'll notice there's strings hanging down, right? That's going to be our new East Castle Place Art Gallery. So if we have any artists in the crowd, the resident art committee is opening it up to employees to submit a piece of art to be hung as part of our first probably 2 galleries, which will be East Castle Place residents and now staff, if you want, to be hung in that gallery space. So be hung on those hangers. It has to be 2-dimensional. It has to be framed. There are certain dimensions and things that have to be in there. Also appropriate artwork. You guys take that where you want, but you know what I'm talking about. There's applications on the desk or on the table that you can pick up on your way out. So again, that's going to be a gallery space. We're going to work with MyEd, UWM, MATC, and some of those other colleges as well, and partners in the area, so that over the course of every 2 to 3 months, we're going to change that out, have a gallery night, and make it really something really special, I think. So, any questions? With that, just a huge thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're not successful without you. You know that. Thank you for being so incredible. I did The Incredibles because my wife is taking me to Disney for the first time, and I'm very excited. By the way, my boys are very excited as well. So, thank you for being incredible, and I will turn it over to Jen. Oh, just kidding. We're having a cookout. We're having a cookout. Be excited. Yeah. Why? Because you deserve it. You've gone through all this construction, you've dealt with all the headaches of it. You're going to welcome in a number of new residents. That's probably going to make you do a couple things differently in your day and maybe ask a little bit more of you. So you deserve a cookout. So I'm gonna cook up some hamburgers and hot dogs as long as Angela, we order those, hopefully. All right, and come up to the courtyard. You'll see signs, first, second, and we'll make sure the third shift is also taken care of. So come on out, even if you're out that day, come on in. All right, now Jen.
Morning, everyone. Morning. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yay! All right, so we always start off with a list of our new hires who have started with us since April 14th or April 18th. Raise your hand if you are a new hire since April 18th. Woo-wee. We got some hands. So welcome to your first all-staff meeting. As we always say, make sure that if you're seeing those new faces around the community that you are saying hi, helping them with any questions that any of our employees might have. Some HR updates. Okta, I know your favorite. If you are not logging in yet, we might be able to help you in HR. But if you're having technical issues, you do still need to call that phone number. So it's going to be the email that you put on your application and that password that you create. The password does reset every 90 days. So please remember what you wrote or what you created, because you actually have to type in the old password to create a new password. New location for the badge entrance in BT vestibule. So raise your hand if you've used the new badge entrance for your name badge when you come in. Yeah, it's about half of us.
Oh,
so if you have not used where the new one is, when you come into the vestibule on the right-hand side, where the intercom normally is, right next to that there's a little black box. We want you guys using that badge entrance now instead of the old one. Headphones for computers are not to take home, so the headphones that are down in the employee center, we have lost 12 headphones that we've had to reorder because employees are just taking them home with them. They are not your property, they are East Castle Place's property, so please leave that so employees that need to use the computers have the necessary equipment. Please be kind to our receptionist. I know that there's been certain times when we have to close down the parking lot so that we're having a special event. It is not the receptionist's fault. Please be kind to them. We try to communicate these events out as soon as possible so that you can plan appropriately, but please do not take out any of your frustrations on our lovely receptionist team. Thank you. And then cell phones and earbuds are not allowed unless you are on a break or a lunch, so please make sure that you are keeping those tucked away and only using during those appropriate times. Employee events, we got 3 events to talk about. One, we have an Indeed review campaign that Mia is launching for us. In the past 2.5 years, we've only had 5 reviews written on Indeed. So if you're like me and you shop on Amazon, I look at what the reviews say, I look at how many stars it has. If it only has 3 stars, I'm like, ooh, I'm not getting that. And jobs are just the same. So we have a poster down by the employee time clock. You can scan the QR code, and then you can fill out that Indeed review. If you do that, take a screenshot of it, give it to Miss Mia. We're going to give you guys some extraordinary reward points. So please help us help recruit and showcase how great East Castle Place is for us, for other potential new hires. We started our back to school supply drive for employees that started July 6th to the 27th. There's the wrapped paper box right across from reception. Any school supplies you want to drop off. So currently in there today I saw there's some folders, some glue sticks, I think some pens. So as you are shopping potentially for your own, grab a couple items, throw that in there. We give all of those supplies back to our employees that are in need of for their household. I already saw we probably have about 5 names already that are submitted that are looking for some school supplies. So if you're able to contribute, we would really appreciate that. And then Tyler just hit on the employee cookout in the courtyard. Also, you get to wear tie-dye t-shirts next week Friday as kind of a cool little employee event. UKG Dimensions, I want to say thank you. I know this is not the most fun transition to this new app that we're using, but I feel like you guys have made it through the hard part. We have all of the apps are pretty much downloaded. We're using it. So thank you guys for getting through this transition. If you are entering in PTO, you can use the app. You can go onto the computer, or you can also just use the time clock itself. You can put a PTO request in that way. But if you are needing to enter a punch correction, that would be through the app or on the desktop. The mobile app is not set up for mobile punching, as are most of the LCS communities are not using it for that. So truly, that mobile app is, oops, I forgot to punch back in for lunch, let me put that one punch in. That is not, all 4 punches are being submitted through your mobile app on a consistent basis. Uniform reminder and casual Friday reminder. So it's summertime, and summertime is kind of when some of these things kind of start to slide back down. So we just want to review, when you're wearing your uniform, you must be in the ECP provided uniform, no adjustments. So for example, no one's uniforms has leggings. The ECP tie-dye shirts are only on those casual Fridays. It isn't because I forgot my top today, so I'm going to wear my ECP tie-dye t-shirt on a Tuesday. Non-approved jackets while working, so if you want to wear long sleeves, that white, black, or gray, as I see Miss Jima's got that white long sleeve shirt underneath her scrub top today, wearing those appropriate colors. And then always have to have closed-toed shoe on. So I saw an employee last week that was rocking some sandals and some socks, and that's not appropriate. You have to have closed-toed shoes at all times for a safety perspective. We would love that your uniforms are clean, not wrinkled and stain-free, so if you could please wash your uniforms, we would appreciate that. Also, recently we have found out it's my birthday, so I don't have to wear a uniform. No, that is not correct. So if it is your birthday or it's the weekend, you still have to wear your approved uniform. Please and thank you. Also, wearing your name badge at all times. We did an all staff yesterday, and already one of our employees came down to HR and requested a new name badge because she didn't have one. So please make sure that you guys are wearing that at all times. If you need a new one, please come find us in HR and we can print that for a $10 fee. We have had some employees that just say, you know what, print 2 right away for me. So we can help you with that. Casual Friday reminder. So we used to say pay $5 for the month and then you are able to wear casual clothes on Fridays. We took that fee away and we said now every Friday you get to have casual clothes. But we are seeing that kind of getting abused a bit. So we want to make sure that you are wearing appropriate clothes still on casual Fridays, otherwise that is something that could be taken away. So inappropriate clothing is listed over here, so I'm going to hit on everyone to make sure everyone's hearing the same message. You are not allowed to have holes in your jeans, no graphic tees. If you're wearing a skirt or a dress, no higher than 2 inches above the knee, no shorts, no hoodies. Sounds like I'm a really mean person. No flip-flops, no jogging pants, so anything that has that elastic band at your ankle, that is a jogging pant. You can wear leggings on casual Fridays if your shirt covers your full buttocks area, and then no full tracksuits. But remember, you're at work. This is not your free casual time. You are at your place of work, and so there is an expectation to meet our dress code policy. Zoo Pass reminder, so we did hit on this one last time, but we're still seeing that we're not getting the cards handed back in a timely manner, which then is impacting someone else who's wanting to use that Zoo Pass card. So if I was wanting to use the Zoo Pass today, I would sign out that card today, and I'd have to have that turned in by, if I took it at 8 a.m. today, by 8 a.m. tomorrow, that Zoo Pass has to be returned back to the reception desk. So someone else can still come take it and use it on Friday for their family. So if you ever need help, the receptionists are able to help you with that. It's a free, we have 2 free Zoo Passes for all of our employees to use. So please make sure that you're helping each other out and returning it so someone else can also use it for their family. Yes?
How many people can go on the pass?
6 or 8, yeah.
I think it's 8 per
okay.
card. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay.
Extraordinary rewards. So raise your hand in the last 3 months if you have entered in someone for a nomination for extraordinary rewards. Raise them high. Okay. We are definitely seeing an uptick, that we are seeing more of our employee staff using that. So please make sure you guys are all doing such a great job. It's a great way for you guys to recognize each other, get some points, and go get some items off of the website. I was talking with an employee recently. They got some North Face jacket and North Face gloves as well. So there's a lot of really cool items on there. So make sure you guys are recognizing. But I think Kissy's in here today. Your name is on here. Miss Kissy got a nomination. So just want to kind of point that out for everyone. And then we have our employee engagement survey. So we always have the ECP Community Action Plan on the blue HR board in the main hallway. 5 new suggestion slips were handed into us from our suggestion boxes. One of them was about getting some new drinks added. So I went down to the employee center today and we have now apple juice and orange juice. There are 2 new Celsius drinks and there are 2 new zero sugar energy drinks in there today. So continue to provide that feedback and we'll continue partnering with our vendors. They're missing the orange zero sugar one that I love, so we'll get that one in stock. So if you guys have any special requests, let me know and I'll try my best to help you out with that. We were asked about shower accessibility. This will be available once the fitness area is open again in mid-August. So we're right around the corner for that. And there was a radio request for the employee center. There has been an employee committee meeting that we did create. We've been discussing renovations and music is on the list. So more to come with that. That is everything that I have. Do you guys have any questions for HR? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mike.
Hello, Jen.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Griever. I'm the Director of Philanthropy. Many of you know me more formally as the staff person who works with the Treasure Chest. How many of you ever been down there? Have any of you ever received the scholarships that the Treasure Chest offers? A couple of you. All right. That's the real purpose of the Treasure Chest. Those of you who think that we exist so that we can provide great deals on furniture, you're wrong. We sell furniture at great prices so that we can offer scholarships. And this is scholarship season. At East Castle Place, there are 2 scholarships. There's the one sponsored by the Treasure Chest, and there is the one sponsored by your HR department. The scholarship through the HR department has to be focused on an academic pursuit of yours that furthers your career at East Castle Place. That is not the case with the Treasure Chest Scholarship. You can be pursuing anything as long as it's post-high school. You can be going to get certified as an electrician and you're working in the laundry now. Or you can go to culinary school and you're a CNA right now. We don't care. You can do whatever you want with this. The volunteers of the Treasure Chest, the residents who live here, have structured it so that it can be targeted towards any pursuit that you want. The scholarship applications are currently available. I'll have them after the meeting. For those of you who do not know, my office is 15 feet across the hall. Just exit this door and go across the hall, and there I am. The deadline for you to return the scholarship to me, the scholarship application, is August 11th. We also have to get a letter from your supervisor by, I think it's the 15th, that says that you're an employee in good standing. You're not on a plan of improvement or anything like that. This August 15th deadline is my responsibility. You need to tell your supervisor that you're applying for a scholarship so that they're not shocked when I come around and say, I need your letter of support. That's your obligation. Tell your supervisor, your obligation, return the scholarship to me by the 11th of August. When you get it, you'll see that the front page is a fill in the blank. It's the hardest part of the application. Further in, you're going to see a definition of what's expected of a narrative from you. The people who work the Treasure Chest range in age from 80 to 95. They're the ones who are going to be reviewing this narrative that you prepare. My advice to you, tailor this to your audience. Tell them, why you're going to school, why you need the money, how this is going to further your pursuits. Make it succinct, make it short, page and a half. You come up with 15 pages, the only one who's going to read it is me, and I don't make those decisions. Okay, the one who's going to make the decision are the volunteers who staff the Treasure Chest. The directors can send me their notice either in writing or via email or something like that. You have to work here for at least 6 months. Do not prejudge whether you are eligible for this scholarship. Last year we had people that applied in August that only been here for 2 months. The funding committee awarded scholarships to be funded in January for the second semester, if you were still an employee in good standing and if you were still in school. In all honesty, the hardest part of this application is getting something from your school, designating where you are in the program and what your curriculum will be for the coming month. It can be for full-time, part-time, or pool employees. Again, it can be for any field. The only other issue with the scholarship is that you can't double dip. I explained to you that there's this treasure chest scholarship. There's also one that Jen does through HR. You can't get both. It's going to be either or. Can you apply for both? Sure. Can you receive both? No. You know, so it's up to you how you want to proceed. You're going to see when you get this application, there are items in here that are in red. Those are the ones you have to pay good attention to, all right? When you return this to me, you can do it in writing like this, or you can scan it and email it to me. I don't care. As long as I have it, I have to have it by the 11th. Are there any questions?
Is this for the school calendar year of this year or the school calendar year for next year?
This is for the school year beginning in September. However, we only issue scholarships once a year. So this will be your opportunity to get something either for September or for January. Okay? There's
Well,
only...
I'm a new hire.
Pardon me?
I'm a new hire.
Okay.
So I'll have to wait 6 months, right?
Again, if you're... and I'm going to make this up, all right?
Okay.
If you're working in the kitchen and you want to become a CNA, you just started a month ago, the committee has the ability to review the application and say, you don't have your 6 months in yet, we're going to set money aside and we're going to award a scholarship for you in January. You'll have your time in by then.
Okay.
Okay? But there will be no application process in January. Now's the application. And the committee can either fund it immediately, or they can reserve funds for you in January, or they can say, I'm sorry, we didn't have enough money. Any other questions? All right. Oh.
Kind of similar thing, just in case anyone's in this situation. Can you, if you know you're not going back to school until January, can you apply for it now and say, like, I'm not starting school until then, though?
Yeah, that's my concern.
Yeah.
In fact, if you intend to do that, you have to apply now.
Yeah.
There is no application in January. So if you intend to go back in January, apply now. Be very clear in your application that that is what's going on. Okay? And then if you decide not to go in January and we reserve funds, well, we don't fund it. Any other questions? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Eric. Again, if you want an application today, I'm right across the hall. There you go.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I will keep it moving quickly. What I'm going to take the time to do is go over an emergency preparedness plan item, which is heat advisory and loss of cooling. It's relevant because we just lived it the past 2 weeks, especially for those of you in Bradford Terrace. I guess if you were in Bradford Terrace, you didn't live it. So we'll walk through the policy a little bit, and I'll touch on some items of what we can do individually and then what the organization can better plan for to continue to make it a smooth process. Policy is an excessive heat emergency will be declared when the executive director, in conjunction with the campus directors, feel that the resident environment, including temperature and humidity, have reached a point that may be injurious. Essentially, we've set that set point to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it gets to be 82 in resident rooms and on the unit for an extended period of time, then we have to take action. Much like 2 weeks ago on Thursday, we realized we were told the cooling was down indefinitely. We didn't have a time it was coming back up, so we had to take action, which is spelled out in the first couple points. So anytime the cooling is down or we feel it's down, plant operations department should be notified immediately. We do that via work order here. When we get enough of them, we're certainly responding. Once the plant department has determined the extent or severity, we're either going to fix it in-house, if it may be a residence thermostat or something. If it's something more significant, like in this case it was the compressor in the basement, we're going to contact an outside contractor, which we did. He told us it was not going to be fixed anytime soon because we had blown, essentially the compressor was running. So in certain situations, we may move the residents from one affected area to another if it's maybe isolated to a room versus the entire building. Under guidance of campus healthcare professionals, we'll take appropriate personal alert and inform all staff, which we did in the form of, we posted a letter in the elevators, there was a message sent out in all staff, and there was an email sent out. So we're going to do different things to make sure you're made aware of the situation and how to get ahead of it, because a building of that size doesn't cool quickly, but once it gets warm, we're kind of stuck living through it. So we're going to do a lot of different things that we did do, and a lot of them I want to think nursing did a lot of help. We closed windows, we made sure the blinds were drawn, we made sure residents were put into a lighter, more comfortable clothing, we made sure they had fluids, we made sure that there were ice packs, a lot of ice packs already in the freezers and our refrigerators on 4 and 5. So we also had personal fans available in the lower level that if someone needed something more, we would grab that for them to give them maybe just a good faith effort that we're trying to keep them cool. So anything we can do to help mitigate that temperature. Next slide. What we did that was a little bit different this year than waiting is we went and got temporary cooling devices that you probably saw or felt. We had one positioned by the kitchen, we had one at the end of the hallway in the O1s. In the future, we're going to be looking at a little bit larger units. The one that was in the kitchen was doing better cooling, as I'm sure you all noticed. That was a 2-ton unit. We're going to look to add outlets in the actual corridor so we can have one in each smoke compartment to help with cooling depending on how much the building goes down. It's just a preventative measure to improve our emergency planning for a loss of cooling. So that was a real big help this time, and I think it helped to keep us cool even while it got 90 degrees outside. For all residents, we would want to maintain an adequate fluid intake. All residents should be encouraged to drink plenty of fluids. Assure the residents to be dressed in the loose clothing, which was done. Discourage residents to sit or lie in the direct sunlight. Closing the blinds is incredibly important, especially on the west side of the building. We get a lot of heat getting through the windows between 11 o'clock and about 2. Once it's in the building, it's extremely hard to get out. Lastly, if we think that they're starting to show symptoms of heat stroke, we're going to start taking vitals, taking appropriate preventative treatment measures. And as with all excessive heat, be alert to exhaustion, sunstroke, and other physical signs. Once it's all completed, we'll send out that email to close the loop. But I just want you to be aware of what we went through, what we did, and what would happen in the future so you're familiar with what we do for excessive heat or loss of cooling. Any questions? All right, thank you for your time. On to Lindsay.
Thank you. All right, hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Let's get pumped up. We saved the best for last. Can we pass, Kevin, can you pass these in the back? So, first we're going to talk, why is it keep doing this? You're all blurred vision. So, yeah, we're going to have to evaluate this because this happened yesterday too. But anyways, how many of you know we're in our survey window? Everyone's hands should go up. Rob? You can. See you in the back. Jerome? Again, that means the state is coming anytime. They didn't come today. Yay. But they could come tomorrow. And they have till the last week of August to arrive. So we have, what would that be, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So with that, obviously we need to do some preparation, evidenced by Eric's emergency preparedness plan. That's a part of that, as well as we're going to talk about abuse reporting and the Elder Justice Act. Because trick question, you will get asked about these two options. And if you can, maybe if you look cross-eyed at it, it might straighten itself back out. But employees are required to report abuse, neglect, misappropriation, and exploitation, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Mia. Who do we report abuse to?
You.
Right answer. The administrator, the DON, or like Tyler if he's in charge. Again, if a crime is committed, that's physical abuse, sexual abuse, even if it's just suspected, we are required to report that in what time frame? 2 hours. Good. Now we're getting warmed up. After forming the suspicion. So, that being said, that's not Amy, going on lunch, checking her phone, and then calling me saying, hey, we had a suspect abuse here that we need to call the cops on. No, we call right away, and as a community we have 2 hours. And then 24 hours for everything else. So that would be anything else that would not be a serious bodily injury. So any questions on that? No. All right, now rounding out with some infection control, because we're going to talk about COVID next, our favorite subject. With infection control, hand washing. We are still washing hands, right?
Yes.
Great, right answer. So let's also use the hand sanitizers that are in the hallways and coming in and out of resident rooms. That is to protect you and to protect the residents. And they are there not just to look pretty, but to be used. Garbage and linen on the floor. We should not be putting any garbage on the floor. We should not be putting it outside our offices. We should not be waiting for housekeeping necessarily. We can walk and bring it down to the garbage chute and put it down there. Same with linen, whether it's clean, whether it's soiled. I get we're doing different things. We think we're quick putting it outside the floor, in the hallway, so that we can do something else. It cannot be there, because if there's a hole in the bag, if it's dirty, if something seeps, and that's any area we are, because is the floor clean? No! There we go, good. And then glove use. We use a lot of gloves around here, whether we're in the kitchen, therapy, nursing, housekeeping. We should not be touching more than one surface or one utensil while we're wearing gloves. So I should not be going from one resident's rooms out into the hallway to go grab more supplies with my gloves on. Or I should not be touching the microwave and then grabbing a bun with the same glove for a hamburger when I'm serving food. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. All right, and then last but not least is customer service. And this is irrelevant of survey because we always act with our extraordinary impressions. So, customer service, we've had some very, high-touch families come in recently, high-touch residents because construction, even vendors and so on. And we're all kind of in that summer heat fatigue. Maybe we're tired after going to Summerfest on a Thursday, now it's Friday. We still need to act with extraordinary impressions, great customer service. Remember, is there anything else I can do for you? Are those golden words. So, and then we smile. Everyone give me a smile. There we go. None of you are smiling in this room. Why? I don't know. But we're going to smile. All right, now on to COVID. We have some exciting updates and changes. Because the public health emergency ended on May 11th, we will be sunsetting, get it, the sunset. Thank you. I love the enthusiasm in here now, that's Leo. We will be sunsetting our COVID vaccine policy. What does that mean? If you have not had a vaccination since 10/1 of 2022, so last October now, it is July, you are no longer up to date. With that, we are not requiring new employees or any current employees to be vaccinated anymore, hence the sunsetting of it. Again, what we want to do and what is these beautiful papers that we're about to go over is highly encourage you to go get the most recent vaccine. One thing I want us to kind of delete from our brain is the conversation of a booster shot. Booster is no more. So there's no longer a new booster, there's no longer a two-step vaccine series and so on. That is old news. Now it is just a vaccine. And if you have not had one since 10/1/2022, you are eligible for another vaccine. We are not offering it here at the moment, but we can direct you to walk right down Downer Ave and walk into the local CVS that is only 1 block away to go get, 2 blocks, to go get your vaccine, if you so choose. Some paperwork here. We all got those nice pens Kevin handed out. This first one is the policy on offering, educating, and training on the vaccine. Again, this indicates that we no longer are requiring that exemption. All new employees that Mia and Jen are hiring are providing this now. And then on this second one that I want us to all get our pens working before we leave this room, to fill this out. This is a declination form. What does that mean? This top part is giving you your education, or that you're acknowledging you have your education on do you want it or do you not? Do you have it or do you not? And might I add, only 20% of our staff are considered up to date. So keep that in mind. Again, we are going to click or X or check the box for you have received and reviewed this policy, so take your time there. You understand that if you decline a vaccine, you can change your mind at any time and still go get the vaccine. And I understand that by getting the vaccine, you are protecting the residents and the staff. So very common knowledge for these three. Despite these facts, I am choosing to decline the vaccine. So the 80% of the staff, and if you are in this room and have not had a vaccine since 10/1 and do not plan on getting one today, tomorrow, please click decline. There's no quandary of checking that box. We just want this documented and we need it in HR from a state perspective. Yes, Serena.
Okay, so if we go to CVS and get the vaccination, we have to come out of pocket with it?
It is through your insurance, and I don't know what that looks like from an out-of-pocket standpoint of what that costs. I believe with the public health emergency ending, they no longer are making it, or it's no longer free. But that would be between you and the pharmacy. So, and we are, on that note, if you go down to CVS today, you will get 4 hours of pay. If you go down up until August 8th, you will receive 4 additional hours of COVID vaccine pay. That being said, if you go today and you don't turn in your form to Jen and me and HR until the 9th, you will not get vaccine pay. So we need that in HR no later than 5 o'clock on 8/8 to get that 4 hours of free pay. Any other questions on that? And then name, signature, date. Let's get those pens working. Excellent. Okay. And then, again, we are still checking with the CDC as well as the Wisconsin Health Department on a new hire to make sure that we do have vaccine documentation. So, any questions, see me after on this. All right, another COVID update. Masks. I see masks in this room. Love it because we are still requiring them in healthcare areas. Why? Because COVID's still here. Outbreaks are still going on. Our neighbors and neighboring areas and communities have taken masks away. And unfortunately, they had a 30-person outbreak with deaths that were associated to it. So at this time, it's easier until we're under 5% for 2 weeks to keep masks on, as well as once the state gives us more clear guidance, because right now it's incredibly gray. Imagine that. So, again, some other changes that came, if you've all read, I know you all do, very diligently, Tyler's updates or the East Castle updates that come out every other week or as needed. Visitors and staff in independent living areas, like us in this room right now, are not required to be in masks and no longer required to sign in, which is great. Again, please note the isolation cards outside the rooms. That is usually a separate situation. You need to talk to the nurse. And then testing, we're still at 5.1%. That's great because we were at that 10, the 9, the 12% for a long time. And now, again, we are still only testing based on symptoms and exposure protocol. You will hear from either Jima, give us a wave. Woo! Everyone say, hey, Jima. And either you will hear from Jima or Ashley on if we have a resident outbreak or a resident positive, if you need to be tested or not. Again, we still have access, a lot of access to COVID tests outside of here at CVS and so on. They were literally handing them away. If you swab yourself and it's positive or you're pending a PCR, please call and let us know. We don't want to just hold you out of work for no reason, as well as we don't want you coming to work if you are positive with COVID, right? Imagine that. So again, and you will be contacted if you are a part of the outbreak protocol. Any questions on COVID or this form? Or policy? No? All right, well then that wraps it up. You all are the best, so don't ever change. Have a great summer. You know, it's like signing a yearbook. But no, thank you for all you do. We're in the home stretch, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.
We will take your forms and pens, and then we also have the art show applications if you're interested in that. And then Mike Griever's office over here. We need to pick up an application.
Adios, amigos. Thank you. Thanks for coming.